In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use After Effects to create what's called a tilt-shift effect. It's a way to take footage and make it look like it's actually of a miniature model instead of actual video of in this case, it's a city scene or a small town scene, whichever you whichever you consider Bangor. Basically what tilt shift does is it creates the illusion of a very short depth of field. So a small area of the footage will be in focus at the end of the process. If you can imagine taking a picture of a miniature model, the things are actually so close together that if you're working with quality lenses that give you a possibility of depth of field, it will be very shallow. And by recreating that effect with footage that's actually pretty much all in focus, we can make it look like an actual scene is a small model. So if that makes sense to you. There are also lenses that you can put on the front of cameras that will do this kind of thing, but this is all done inside After Effects. So if we jump down here, I've got a clip from the city of Bangor, and it's taken from up on the top level of the parking garage, and it's pretty much all in focus. It wasn't taken with any kind of sophisticated lens or what have you. And so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to add an adjustment layer to my composition. And an adjustment layer is a layer contained within your composition that basically applies some sort of effect or modification to all of the layers beneath it. So instead of attaching something to a specific layer, you're basically saying from here down in the composition, this is what we're going to have. This is especially useful if you're compositing things together, and it's a nice habit to get into in terms of the way that you're working with footage. So if I come up here to Layer and New and Adjustment Layer, you can see it drops on to the top of my composition there. And I'm going to come over to Effects and Presets, and I'm going to bring up the lens blur. And so you can see we've got that here. I'm just going to drag it down to my adjustment layer. And you can see that when I do that, the effect controls pop up over here next to my project tab, and the entire window of my composition is now blurry. And what I want to do is essentially create a window of clarity inside this blur. So first of all, what we want to do is modify the effect so that it works the way that we want it to. Edge behavior is one of the important elements here, and so I'm going to click on this little checkbox here to repeat edge pixels. And what that does is it lets the blur extend smoothly to the edge. If we don't check this, then sometimes you can get a feathering around the edge, and that can make it so that it's obvious that this is an effect that's been applied because of that little tail around the edge. With the adjustment layer selected, I'm going to come up and grab my pen tool, and I'm going to create a mask on my layer. And we're just going to kind of make a general kind of curve here. And you can see that when I create the mask, it defaults to add value if we reveal the mask down here. And so only what's inside the circle here of the mask is blurry. I'm going to switch this to subtract. And so now it's only the interior of the mask that's clear. And if I click kind of off of the image to show you what it looks like, you can see that we've got a pretty clear line of what's in focus and what isn't. And so we want to soften that. And the way that we're going to soften that is with the mask feather property. I'll just click on here and roll it up to right around 65, 60, in between 65 and 70 for this particular piece. And so if I click on the footage now, you can see that we've got some clear elements here, but it's much more out of focus, sort of outside of that area. And if I click on the spacebar to play through, you can see that we have a little bit of a a model type look that's going on. And certainly a lot of this, the settings depend on the kinds of footage that you're working with. This is just kind of a quick tutorial to show you how to get that kind of look if it's something that you're going for. And certainly, the placement of the mask, the different kinds of properties there, you can modify the kinds of elements in the camera lens blur effect to get different looks as well.